Part 4 of 4.
With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace. Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
When people started noticing Noah building the ark, they were curious and gathered around him. Noah explained God's commands and urged them to pray to God. Noah, vegetarian, venerated Antediluvian, Patriarch, and Messenger of God, Part 1 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
I believe evil is flesh-eating. Meat in the astral worlds is a symbol of evil, and when they want to show you that your deeds are evil, they will give you meat as food. Master Ben Saduono, vegetarian.
When meeting someone in Azores, one might say "tudo bem?" That means "how are you" in Portuguese, the archipelago's official language. Enlightened viewers, I am Delilah. The faithful Azorean people wish you a beautiful and blissful life. Welcome to part 1 of the 2-part series entitled Noah, Vegetarian, Venerated Antediluvian Patriarch and Messenger of God.
Then the Lord said to Noah, "Enter the ark, you and all your household, for you alone I have seen to be righteous before me in this time." Genesis, Holy Bible.
Noah was chosen by God to be the father of a new humankind at a time when the world became so wicked that it led to the Great Flood. Heeding divine instructions, he built a giant ark that would protect him, his family, and representatives from all species of animal people during the disaster. As stated in the book of Genesis, Noah was the son of Lamech, and the 9th in descent from Adam. According to apocryphal legend, when Noah was born, his body was snow white and red as a rose, and his hair was white as wool. As soon as he opened his eyes, the whole house was illuminated by the light emanated from them. Baby Noah stood upright between the midwife's hands and addressed a prayer to God. His father Lamech was concerned that his son resembled an angel more than a child. He went to consult his father, Methuselah, who in turn consulted Enoch, who was then among the angels. Enoch informed Methuselah that a flood would destroy the world, and that only Noah and his future sons would survive. Enoch told him to name the newborn Noah, which means rest. During his time, Noah was the only man who loved God and worshipped Him. In the book of Genesis, it was stated that Noah was righteous and blameless in his generations and walked with God. In the Aggadah, rabbinic literature, it was stated that Noah's first good deed was to introduce plows, sickles, axes, and all kinds of tools to the villagers. Noah's inventions benefited humankind, making it easier to work the land and freeing people from doing everything with their hands. Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, were born when he was about 500 years old. They had grown to manhood with wives when God commanded Noah to build an ark measuring 450 feet in length, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high to keep his family safe from the waters of a great flood. God gave Noah instructions on building the structure and requested that he try to persuade the people around him to mend their ways by praying to God and leading a virtuous life. During a 1992 lecture in Japan, Supreme Master Ching Hai expounded on the world's situation during Noah's time.
在诺亚的时代也是差不多，圣经有记载很清楚，为了整个世界那个时候堕落的情况，完全偏向物质，完全没有道德，所以上帝才弄那个洪水，把全部的地球洗光。我们当然做人是很难，我们靠近物质比靠上帝多。对我们来讲，物质是比较明显，上帝是比较陌生。事实上，上帝是离我们很近的，是在我们那边。
Vegan, because imagine if we are murdered like the factory animal people.
We'll hear more about the righteous Noah's story after a brief interlude here on Supreme Master Television. Please stay tuned. Welcome back to Noah, Vegetarian, Venerated, Antediluvian Patriarch and Messenger of God, Part 1 of 2. When people started noticing Noah building the ark, they were curious and gathered around him. Noah explained God's commands and urged them to pray to God. He even offered to take them into his ark, but they mocked him. Noah gathered food for the animal peoples and stored it in the ark. A pair representing every type of person from the animal kingdom was taken into the ark. There were lion people, tiger people, elephant people, snake people, parrot people, zebra people, and many more. Noah was devoted to ensuring their preservation. At the last minute, Noah again invited the villagers to join before he had to seal the door of the ark, but they still refused his offer. Unfortunately, Noah's son Canaan also did not believe him. In 2008, Supreme Master Ching Hai mentioned Noah's story through Master Rumi's poetry.
Now this is the poem called As the Orchard is with the Rain. He said, "Don't be like Canaan, son of Noah, who wouldn't get in the ark." You know what it means? When the flood happened, and Noah had already built an ark, and put a pair of animals, people, each in his ark already, and all his family member and belonging and necessity and supply for a while, already in the ark. And he came in, but his son did not come in and did not want to. So that's how it was. So Rumi told us that we should not be like Canaan, who wouldn't get in the ark in the time of emergency like that, and still rebels against good intention. Yes. So now, he continued. He was swimming. Canaan was swimming and saying, "I hate my father. I won't use that boat." Can you believe that? Maybe he hates his father. But by doing this, he goes not against only his father, but he goes against his life, right? So, because Noah was already on the boat, and everybody else, including his farm animals, people, was already on the boat, and he kept calling out, "Come, come, son, Sit in this that I have made, or you will drown. No, I have learned how to swim on my own. I have lit my candle from a flame other than yours. He probably has a different religious belief. That's what he means. And he so strongly believed in whatever that faith was that he against his father, who doesn't believe the same like he does. Yeah? Well, it happened. You understand, right? I told you already. Now, another thing he hated, I think, right now he hated his father more than ever. You know why? Because his prediction came true. And that's against Canaan's belief. Because before, he already did not want to believe his father that the flood will occur, that he need to build a boat. Can you imagine building a boat where the dry land or on top of the hill where nothing, no water can ever reach and no water nearby? And saying that I will need it soon, that everybody should come on the boat and all that. Of course, not only Canaan, but everybody in the town probably was ridiculing all this time, yeah? And come and point finger and say, look at that madman, and nobody would have probably talked to him at all for all this time, or just ridicule him, laughing at him, make fun of him, and he probably has become the talk of the town all this time. And now, it's proven that he's right. The flood is there. So the son also feel like, it hurts his pride, his ego, that his father's even right. Because all this time, he has never believed in his father.
As the book of Genesis explains,
For 40 days the flood kept coming on the earth, and as the waters increased, they lifted the ark high above the earth. The waters rose and increased greatly on the earth, and the ark floated on the surface of the water. They rose greatly on the earth, and all the high mountains under the entire heavens were covered. The waters rose and covered the mountains to a depth of more than 15 cubits. Every living thing that moved on land perished. Everything on dry land that had the breath of life in its nostrils died. Every living thing on the face of the earth was wiped out. People and animals were wiped from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those with him in the ark. The waters flooded the earth for 150 days.
what happens to Noah? How did they survive? We'll explore more of the ever-faithful Noah's story in part 2 of this show.
Vegan, your visa for hell is indefinitely expired.
Gracious viewers, thank you for your devoted company today. Join us again on Sunday, January 23rd, for part 2 of Noah, Vegetarian, Venerated Antediluvian Patriarch and Messenger of God. May your day be filled with joy and abundance in God's grace.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/ls.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/ls.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/ls.
हमारे कार्यक्रम पेश किए जाते हैं कई भाषाओं में। कृपया देखें suprememastertv.com/schedule और suprememastertv.com/ls.